Hello Aquarius! Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Tarot in Wonderland by Barbara Moore, illustrated by Eugene Smith. Website at the bottom is llewellyn.com. Feel free to check that out if you'd like to. Okay. Supportive Oracle cards. Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacy DeMarco. Website on the back, rockpoolpublishing.com.au, as an apple, use an umbrella. Okay, what do we have for Aquarius? That's interesting. Okay, so you know what you have to do. Okay, I gotta put myself out there. You know you gotta put yourself out there. I'm trying to get over it, is what I keep getting. Okay. You know what you want. You know what you want, and it's kind of like, I feel like it's the right time. It's the right time to get involved. But it's in the sense of like, I'm getting a gardening one. In the sense of like, I'm getting a gardening analogy. So it's not time to... It's not time to pick the fruit, but it's kind of like we're at that budding stage, and it's kind of like... I don't know if this is true for most plants, but it's like if things start to bud and you keep cutting them back, I think it'll create more buds for certain plants. I don't know exactly how that works. But I feel like this is the time to prune. If I prune now, I get more bounty later. I don't know what type of plants that works for, but somebody who knows plants, I'm sure, will say something in the comments. But like, there's a certain time where you prune things to get a bigger volume from things. And this is that moment, is what I'm getting at. It's like, am I going to get the fruit right now? No. But if I want a better outcome, this is the time where I need to get involved. And I know it. And I got a lot of, like... it's kind of like, I know what I want to do. I just got to make my mind up about how I'm going to do it. And this is like... You have a very strong spirit. I think this is why these two are coming in together. This is funny because I'm seeing this and you have a very strong spirit. Aquarius to me is a leader. It's the leader of air. So when you want to say something, you say something. You're also very strategic. You let people know what you want them to know. But I see you guys as leaders. This is a situation where to really get into it, I have to follow for a while. Ironically, I do feel like that might be a challenge, because it's one thing to follow if you believe in something, but it's kind of like I have to follow and I have to let mistakes happen that I know are happening. I know things are going to be wrong, and I have to let that happen to get into this deeper, but that seems to be the challenge. Kind of like following and knowing things are wrong, but kind of because like the end game, I have to get more comfortable with people. I have to let them get comfortable with me, and I have to like let them make mistakes. I have to let them learn on their own, but I have to let them get more comfortable with me and not be that leader in this situation. And that's hard because that's your natural energy to say something when things are wrong, to point out like that's not right and we need to fix that. And it's kind of like, it bothers me. It's kind of like I have to be strategic with it, but it's kind of like I really like... There's so much going on here that needs to be focused. There needs to be more focus here. I saw the focus card, like it said focus, but there needs to be more focus. But I have to like back off and not try to direct this. It does seem like it's hard. I'm seeing these cards, but like, if we get a little more clarity with them. Hanged Man. the Page of Cups. Page of Cups is down here. The card is here too. So, oh, I have to believe in people. I don't feel like this is easy for you. It's not easy for you to do this because it's like I have to communicate. I just feel like I have to communicate. I have to talk. But I have to pull back my energy and not lead. In the sense of like I have to be careful not to lead a conversation. I got to be careful not to push it forward where I know it should be. I have to let people figure it out on their own. But how do I do this without completely just exiting the situation? Like if I'm just going to stay out of it, that's one thing. But I'm going to be involved in the conversation. I'm going to be participating in the conversation, but I can't direct the conversation. And I have to be careful about where it's going. In the sense of like not directing where it's going. This seems like this is hard. To me, it feels hard. Like to hold back to that level. Because I feel like you're a natural leader again. I have to go into like absorbing mode and I have to ask strategic questions without people knowing why I'm asking them. You can do that. Being covert is not hard for you, but something about leading in this situation, I think mostly because it feels like it's necessary. It's needed. It feels like it's needed. And I want to participate. And I feel like there needs to be better direction. And that's why I think it's hard. Because it's like there's mistakes. Things are wrong. And I got to hold back. I got to hold back. Because if I come forward as a leader energy at this point, I just feel like people don't flourish like I need them to flourish. Things don't work forward like they need to work forward. People... Maybe, I don't know, something goes on. Either somebody sees me as a challenge and that becomes an issue, or people don't do the work they should be doing. If I start making decisions, if I start giving answers, other people are not searching for it. They just start relying on me for those answers. Me as in Aquarius. I'm not an Aquarius, but I do have some placements, that's for sure. I do, I want to. You got this. You can do it. You can definitely do it. But it's like, I feel like what I'm looking for is like, is this really worth it? Because I feel like me holding back, I'm starting to question like, like, oh, but they're really screwing things up. I don't know. I feel like I'm getting really like uncomfortable, stressed. Like, all right, I'm holding back and I'm not making movements forward. I'm letting errors happen. I feel like it's killing me. I'm letting errors happen and they're so wrong. Some of this is so wrong. Is this really going to be worth it? Is this really going to be worth it in the long term? It's painful. But even though it's very painful, I'm very invested in the long-term outcome and I'm feeling like this is what's right. It's just really hard to do. Because I need people to become more self-sufficient. That's a big piece of this. I'm not leading. I feel like I can't lead. It's your natural energy to do so. But I feel like as it goes forward, I'm going to get more comfortable with this. And I'm trying to not direct it. I need people to find their own answers. I'm not willing to direct this. I'm not even leaving little Easter egg clues about this is what you should be doing. I'm not doing that. I refuse. I'm like, they have to find the answer. I don't want to do this. But it seems to work out better in the long run. I'm holding back, and it's hard. What is this? What is that? Can we get some clarity on that? Because, like, is that you? Is that Aquarius? How does Aquarius relate to that Queen of Wands energy? Hierophant, halfway in, halfway out, and the Four of Cups reversed. Okay. You need to co-lead later. Whoever you're dealing with, we need to get them up to par now. We need to get them to do their own research now. We need to get them to do their own learning now. Because you're going to be doing all the work later if that's the case. If you do it now, you're going to always do the work. And it's not... If you need to be able to share the work, you need to be able to rely on this other person to do their part. To not only the fact that they'll do it, but you can be confident that they're going to do what they're supposed to do because you're going to see them make all these mistakes. They're going to learn the hard way. And then they're going to keep in contact with you later and you're going to know what they're actually doing and that they're not going to be doing screwball things. You need to co-lead with them later. Whoever this is, you need to co-lead with them later, is what I'm getting. Not in the sense of like you can't do it all by yourself, but you're not going to enjoy life half as much if you do it all yourself. You need to have more enjoyment in your life, and this is how it happens. And if they don't come up there, if you don't watch them learn as they go, you're not going to have the confidence in them, for one, because you're going to see them make all these mistakes, but then you're going to also see what they do to fix them. You need to know how they fix them on their own without you leading them. And then you need to know that you can rely on them to do what they're supposed to do, and you can step away when you need to. That's where this is going. For some of you, I feel like this is somebody you're starting a relationship with, or you want to. It doesn't have to be romance, but some type of relationship where you don't want to get in this dynamic to where you have all the answers and you're doing all the work, or like all the heavy. You don't want to be doing all the heavy lifting. They have to be. You have to condition them right in the very beginning to do their part, and to do like it. It might be a good year before you can start co-leading with them, because I just feel like this is a recipe for disaster if you're the one doing all the work. In the beginning, it may seem like it's comfortable, but it'll get old soon enough, and it will actually lead to the failure of this thing long term. Because I don't think this is what you really want, is for you to always have to be the one taking care of everything and doing all the heavy lifting. Because I feel like if that's how you go into it, that's what's going to happen. If you handle it this way and you hold back and you make them do it, you make them do the research, they screw it up and you don't tell them they're screwing it up. You let them figure it out on their own, not because you want to see them suffer, but because you need them to learn and figure out how to do it right themselves so that they are self-sufficient in solving their own problems, whatever these problems may be. And I'm going to use, like, if it's a relationship thing and maybe you have kids and they don't, or maybe you both have kids, maybe they need to know how to work out things with your kids and vice versa without your help. That way you can both realize how to manage things and be like not always looking for the one person to solve all the problems. Because you could end up being that person that always solves the problems, but that's going to be very draining on you. You're not going to be happy. Can you do it? Obviously. Would you like it? I don't think so. So this is how we get through this without you ending up being drained in the long run. Because if you end up being drained in the long run, this is going to have a shelf life. If you want longevity with this situation, this is how we have to cultivate it. This is a better way to cultivate it. Let's do that. Not saying it's the only way, but it seems like a better way to where you can keep this and keep it long term. All right, I think we're there. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. This is James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.